Hey everyone, it's Eddie here, and today I just wanted to try out some embossing, heat embossing. Wah, if you know, you know. I wanted to try it with some of these Distress Oxide inks first, and see how it goes. I have a couple of prints that I want to heat emboss some of these stamps onto. And but I want to try it first on just some plain white paper. And first things first, how are you? I hope you're well. And I hope you've been enjoying my videos. I've been enjoying making them for you. And if you would be so kind as to hit the like button, leave a nice comment. And also, if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe, because it's all amazingly helpful things that you can do for me and my channel that won't cost you a thing. So thumbs up. I am using this little dust pouch here. This is going to keep the embossing powders from sticking to me and the other surfaces that I'm using. So this is quite helpful. It's anti-static pouch. You can make one on your own if you have some cornstarch. Put it in like an old sock and do all that. But my old socks are too dirty to show on the TV, so that's not going to happen. But I always have these extra pieces of paper in my little case that I keep all my embossing stuff in, just so I can, when I pour the powder out onto it, I have something to get it back into the jar with. So like I said, I'm just going to use this white paper. This is the Hammermill 32-pound copy paper. And so let's start with the blue here. This is Distress Ink Faded Jeans. So I have 2 Distress Oxides and 2 Distress Inks. I chose these colors because it's closest to what print I want to use these, I want to emboss onto. But like I said, I want to practice first. So let me do that first. Let's take our sun god here. Let's get him nicely inked up. So basically what I'm attempting to do is to use the ink from these pads as, first of all, for color, and then second of all, as a vehicle to accept my embossing powders, so I can make it all nice and shiny. All right, I'll give this a good press. These are from my Taíno collection of foam stamps, available over at pmartiststudio.com. You can type in Taíno, which is the native peoples of what is now called Puerto Rico. And there's two collections, and there's 6 total, so check them out. We're gonna do the clear because I want the color to show. I have some colors I pulled out just in case, but for now I'm just gonna use the clear, because like I said, I want to use these Distress or these inks for their color with the clear embossing. So that's what I'm doing. I wonder if this is my clear. I don't know. It's a little shiny, but that's okay. Okay, all right. Just a little bit more. Make sure I get nice coverage. And I can tell already it's sticking. Tap some of the excess off. All right, I can, since I'm going to use this again, I'm not going to put it back in the pot. Let's keep that to the side. And I've preheated my heat gun, which is a good tip I got. I forgot from whom, but it's a good idea to just preheat your gun before you get embossing. So this is pretty warm already. Did that work? Not really. Kind of, but not the embossing that it kind of just disappeared. I don't think there was much ink there for it to hold on to. So, what do? let's go ahead and get the embossing ink and go right over that. And I'm gonna do the best I can to line the stamp up with my image. Doesn't line up perfectly, I'm good with that. Like I said, this is a practice sheet so that when I go to emboss on the print I want to use, I don't muck it up. I want it FP. If you know, you know. It's okay. It's a little like a, what do you call it, 3D effect, but I'm cool with that. Much better. That might actually give us a really cool, interesting effect. So what I'm gonna do, let's try it again. You know what? That's a happy mistake right there. I really like how that turned out. It's so cool. All right, let's try another one. Let's try it with the green ink. This is Distress Oxide. What color is this called? Rustic Wilderness. Forgive my fingers. They're not filthy. That is the stuff from the anti-static pouch, the powder that's in there. So I know there's people out there who be looking at my fingernails like, oh my God. But you know, can't please everybody every time. Let's do it right here. Now I wonder if, see, again, I'm going to test it to see if the ink has enough juice to accept the embossing powder. Now that I say that though, I should have stamped this off first because it did have some of the embossing ink, but whatevs. We're going to go with it. There should be enough of the Distress Oxide ink on there that it really doesn't matter. Let's do this, little powder. Yeah, so this is obviously like a shiny, clear one, but it's not the clear that, I think I have another clear one in my box there, but this is good for now. See, that looks like it did hold. Looks like the ink did hold onto that. Okay, so it looks like the combination of the type of ink and the residue of the embossing ink, this stuff from Versamark, helped to keep all that, to grab the embossing powder. But look how cool that looks, especially with the sparkle. I really like that. It comes through, but that's, you know, I'm not worried about that. Let's do the red, but we're going to use a different stamp. That's what I should have done. Here, let's use our, I believe that's the Shaman. Yeah. Okay, so for you, sir, let's do it with the green ink. And we know we don't have any of the embossing ink on here. So let's do it first, just the ink. Okay, should get nice coverage on there. And unfortunately, some of the stamps still have black ink on them. And that's okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's the black Versa Clear ink or whatever it's called. And it doesn't dry as quickly as you'd want it to. So it kind of lingers on, especially on the foam pad, the foam stamp. But that's more because I didn't stamp them off as well as I should have, but it's okay. What's some inky fingers? Oh, here's my powder. I'm not looking for it everywhere. It's right in front of me. Let's see. It doesn't look like it held as well. But let's give it a while and see what happens here. So yeah, maybe a little bit of embossing work, but really it did not. So we need a combination, I guess. That's okay though. I am willing to put up with the struggle. Let's see, there should be enough of the green ink on here left on here to give us another nice impression. So let's give it a go. That's what I love about these foam stamps, is that they do hold on to the ink, which is a good thing. It doesn't dry out as quickly as, you know, some other stamps would. However, you can rinse them off if you want after each use, and just make sure you air dry them. Or you can, just like I do, I just leave them as is, unless I'm using acrylic paint, and then I wash them. And usually it's with a mild detergent, like a very little amount. You know what I do? I'll show you real quick. So I put like a pea-sized, maybe smaller drop of Dawn detergent in my hand, and then I smoosh the stamp around, and it usually clears it up. Now, if I don't have, if I didn't get enough off with that technique, I have this little soft finger brush that I use, and that works really well. But you know, they're delicate, so be careful. As with anything, right? You know, take care of your tools. So, all right, here we go. Much better, yeah. It needs a combination of the two. But I really love that color green with the sparkly. It looks really good. Even here, like the darker version. Well, see, this has some of the blue from that, so maybe we do a combination. I don't mind doing that. Let's give that a go. I'm gonna try that right now. So we got some blue. Hey, we might even get something that's like more of a mélange. We'll say a mix of the two colors. We'll see. And then the embossing ink. The ink is not, the pad's not dirty, it's fine, it's just that's what happens. Okay. Go here. The dogs are barking. I'm not talking about my feet. I don't know if you guys can hear that on the video, the neighbor's dogs barking. It's a time of day, I think, where folks are getting home and the dogs are wanting to go for their walk. That didn't come out as dark. That's okay. Well, it's wide anyway. Did you notice though? It got darker as it dried, or as I heated it, is what I'm trying to say. Very cool. Let's move on to a red one. Let's do the fired brick first. This is an oxide. Let's use this little guy. Forgive me, I don't remember all the names of each one, so, but I will link the collection in the description box below the video, if you want to check them out. So we got to do some of that, the ink, or the clear embossing ink. This is Totem. I'm sorry. Okay, so that's Totem. That's Shaman. This is the Fertility Goddess. That's the Sun God. This is the Koki. And this is sort of a talisman sort of symbol that it's like a portable piece of artwork that also symbolized the tribe. If that makes sense. That's a quick lesson. All right, let's get some of this pattern on here. This is a much more subtle red than the other one, which is the festive berries. So I want to see which one will work better. Tap, tap. That looks like it's stuck nicely. Here we go. That's nice. It's more subtle, but now let's try it with the brighter red. Let me stamp some of this off. Oh, you know what? Let's not. Let's go ahead and go with the brighter red. I want to see what color we get when we combine these two reds. Because you see, this one is a much brighter red. Nicely covered up. There's my clear ink. Okay. I like that combo better. I like that. That might work for the print I'm going to use. Now I do have, like I said, these other colors. So depending on what's going on the print, I may do some other embossing on it. I don't know. You could always fill in these areas too. Much better. I do like that shade. Okay, let me get my embossing pens and fill in this. Let's say we want to do this, accent some gold here. So put some embossing ink with the pen in these little areas. Just playing around here, I'm not being super exact. We'll just do like the toes. And then maybe here, there, and where's my gold? Here's the gold. Let me put this clear stuff back in its pot. And this will be gold. Get it right there. Okay. And unfortunately, I don't have brands for some of these because these were gifted to me a while ago. And I would assume they're pretty generic, unless they're still in the original packaging like these, where I could tell you, but these are, I don't have a name. Okay. All right, here we go. Now that particular powder kind of smells funky when you're heating it. Oh, that's cool. I should have done it on the embossed one. This one really didn't get much embossing, but we'll see what's going on. Let's try it here on this one. Maybe what we'll do, because he's the sun god, we'll do some like in here. That should be fun. Oh yeah, that's cool. All right. So was there another one I wanted to try? No, those were the inks. So now I know which inks I've got. And like I said, I have these other ones. I have this is clear sparkle. I think that's what's in that one that got mixed up with some clear. There's like a forest green. I have a black, and the gold I have here. I also have a platinum if I wanted to use a platinum, which is a really nice one. So let me just set this aside. Put the gold away because I need to grab that clear. Although no, I'm just going to use this clear sparkle here. I do like the sparkle. Now, I'm not going to necessarily use all of the stamps, but some, obviously. So this is the print I want to use. This was kind of a cleanup sheet that I added some, what do you call that stuff? The yellow, get it. Here, I did a layer of the Nicolazo yellow in this golden fluid acrylic over the top with some, a little bit of transparent red iron oxide and some airbrush medium mixed in. And I just kind of sloshed it around on the gel plate and I got this. So underneath the design is just a stencil. I mocked up here on my own of just different tropical kind of leaves. So I'm going to cut these. I want to cut this in 4 because I want to make 4 different cards. So give me a moment. I'm going to cut this up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've cut them. I've cut up that sheet, 8.5 by 11-inch sheet of paper in half and then half again. So I've got my 4 pieces, and I thought these would be fun, like cards to send out to somebody, maybe when it's a little warmer, you know, bring in the summer. So, let's start with this one here. One at the time. What time is it? So, got my leaves here. Do I want it landscape? Do I want it portrait? I think I'm gonna stick with the landscape. I think for this one, I'm gonna do my coqui, which is the frog. That is a symbol of the island. And it's already in a fun position, so maybe, you know, do it in a, you know, kind of move it so it's in an even more fun position. What if I stamped it here and then I could leave room for a message or something there? Why don't I do that? I think I'm gonna do that. So that, okay. Now, what color do we want? We got the green. I mean, it's a frog, but it doesn't have to be green. Although I think if we darken up the green, we could make it look cool. Let's do that. So let's get some green on here first. And then do some of this faded denim. What it's called? Faded jeans. Dark color there. how did we want to? Because, see, and that's the other thing is I position, you've got to remember these are going to go the other way. And I keep forgetting that. Here we go. We're just going to go like this. Try not to wiggle it. Okay, not as dark as I was hoping. And we got to remember I'm also working on acrylic paint, an acrylic paint surface. So let's do some of this green. See, this is what happens. Plans change. Things change, you know. Because I don't think I have a dark enough green that would go well with this card. So, as far as like an ink. So let's try some of that, and then the rest I'm going to do with this clear sparkle. We'll see what we get. And yeah, of course, I will keep this powder mix in a separate container. Just make sure I have enough on here. Sometimes you want to go over it again, make sure that every little area's got some of that powder. All right, let's give it a go. All right, I don't mind that. I like it. So yeah, I thought that'd be fun. We could do like I could do like a little message there, and then the back could be the to and from address. I would back it obviously into something a little bit stiffer. Okay, let's do another one. So let's try this one's got the darker bits. I'm liking this, and so we could do our, oh yeah, let's do the totem. So, yeah, do the totem here. Okay, I like that. As we say in Spanish, me gusta. Should we do the red? Let's do the red. Now, I'm going to stamp some of this off because it does have green on it. So let's see. Let me get some of this off. It does hold on to the ink well. As much as possible off. I'm not going to go over and wash it, you know what I mean? Where were we? Here we are. So, remember we did a combo for that other red, the one that we liked. So, I guess some of this on there. And then some of these festive berries. Now, if I don't like it, I can always heat up the image again after I've embossed it and dried. I can heat it up again and throw in some different powder and, you know, change it up a little bit. Okay, I was about to turn the heat gun on when I'm like, well, not in the heat gun right now. All right, just a little extra, just to be safe. So these bits of red were left over on the gel plate along with some of this blue, and So it was just kind of like a, I was just doing like a session testing out some stencils, and it was, like I said, just something like, you know, it's a cleanup sheet. Let's see, it may not be dark enough, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna do it. Got the clear, sparkly business here. All right, it's a little light. I think it has to do with, I'm going onto acrylic paint. So I think that's what makes a difference. But I do have a redder embossing powder. Let's do that. Let's go cranberry. This is the Ranger cranberry, yeah. So I'm just gonna heat it up again, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add some of that and see if that darkens it up. Gotta heat it up first. Oh boy, it's been a long day. I tell you what, I was cleaning today, and I've done this before, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So we shall see. See, half that bird got it, the other half didn't. Let's heat it up. Let's see where this takes us. That's kind of cool, but I'm gonna throw some of this red on there again to see if I can get more on that left side there. No, it doesn't want to take, huh? Well, I might have to just leave it alone and then do it again later. I mean, I don't hate it. It's kind of a cool effect. Okay, let's let that one dry. Get this cranberry back in the bottle. I love heat embossing. I don't like to clean up. It's just a pain in the butt. So for this one, why don't we do, this is the fertility goddess. Want it like this. Or, yes, I want to do this. And I'm not really happy with the inks on the acrylic paint, so I'm gonna just go ahead and this one's gonna be in gold. I should do gold. I mean, that might be too much. I'm gonna do the green. I'm gonna do this green. I'll just add whatever's left onto, mix some of that in too. So this hasn't been inked with anything else, so this is just the clear embossing ink going onto the straight stamp. Nice and juicy. All right, let's line it up here. Mix it up, why not? Some more of the darker stuff over here. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. I do like that. Now, I did bring out one of my other stamps. And I think maybe just kind of just balance it out. Maybe something like this over here. Let's do it. Why the flip not? Now, question is, what color? I'm gonna do the gold. So let me close you up. This is the Bobble Eye stamp. They come in these two different sizes. Or you can get both. So I think, yeah. Maybe here. Here's the gold. Yeah. That'll be cute. Very nice. Okay. We cover it up because I do tend to knock things over, so let's not risk it. I like that. Good choice in the gold because it's not overpowering anything, but it's just a little something there. I think it's nice to balance it out. Okay, let's do one more. So, okay, I like this one. I like the layout here. And we used the totem, we used the fertility, and we could do the sun god. Let's do the sun god. Maybe there. Okay, and then what color are we going to do? I do have this, the opaque white. I'm gonna do that. Some bright white and some of the sparkly stuff. Okay. Now, I know there's ink on here, so I'm gonna try and get some of this off, but if I can't get all of it off, I'm okay with it because this is opaque white, so it really shouldn't show. But, you know, if it does, it's not gonna be a game changer. Yeah, see, the ink is still there, but I am not too worried. Get some of this white here. And then I'm just gonna just a touch and just sparkle. So unfortunately, with these inks that I chose, they did not work well for what I wanted to achieve. So I think it's the choice of ink, personally. I'm sure there's other inks out there that would work better. If you have any recommendations, definitely drop them in the comment box or in the comment section in the video. I'm digging it. I like it. That's very cool. And what if... No, that's not going to look good, Eddie. I think that's good just as it is. So yeah, the experiment didn't turn out like I wanted it to, but that's why you experiment, just to see how things are going to be. You know, if we were doing it on a regular white background, I think it would work. These will work. But with the acrylic background, I think sticking to the embossing powders strictly is going to be most helpful. Unless, like I said, there's a different type of ink out there that I could use that's going to be a little stronger. I'm thinking the Versa inks, because I have the black one and it's a strong ink. That goes, like, look, it's everywhere because it's still on some of the stamps from when I used it like 2 weeks ago. So maybe I'll have to check out some of those. Hey everybody, so the last section was supposed to be the end of the video, and then I realized, hey, you're still not finished. So I cut out my, saying goodbyes and all that, but I did come in and as you can see, I'm using pieces of gel printed tissue, like on, mostly these are printed on Carnival wet strength tissue, and I'm using some gel gloss medium to apply it to the front of the cards. So in this section you'll see me put all those together and finish them up, and then what I ended up doing was backing them with some like this really cool, like very summery blue cardstock, which complements the yellow card really nicely. So you'll see those at the end, like I usually do when I post pictures of what I've made. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of this. Have a great one. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.